The No New Friends podcast is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Kaufman and Lind at whenyouneedus.com. If you're injured in a car accident or any other injuries, give them a call 407-706-3535. That's whenyouneedus.com.
It's disgusting. You don't know what you're touching with these bowling balls. Same thing with Topgolf. You're touching all these shafts you're touching all these people's shafts. They're not your shaft. Like, I'd feel weird bringing my own shaft to Topgolf and whipping out my shaft in front of everybody else. Like, that's just dehumanized. Like, that's humiliating.
Yeah, because it's not mini golf.
I bring my own shafts. I bring my own shaft to Topgolf.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's
never bring.
They're in my
shaft.
huge sack on my back that I carry up. I usually hit people in the chin with it, with the shaft in the sack.
Naturally. And then you have the little cover on it when you unsheath your shaft. I just feel like that's just a hardo move. Like, you can't listen. You pull out this big. Like, because listen, all the equipment that they give you is, you know, standard size. You pull out your shaft, that's like unsheath that thing. That thing's meaty and hardy and just girthy. And I just feel like that would be weird for someone to look over in the next stall and take a look at your shaft and realize that it's not a house supplied shaft. And that you
I've
brought
never
your own
had
shaft.
an issue handling any shaft, honestly, whether it was borrowed or.
And now it's time for the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
That's right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast, voted number 1 by our friends and family. We are the podcast for adults who like to laugh at adulting. If you'd like to connect with us on the Instagram, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Twitter, the Snapchat, the TikTok, all of our social media links are right there on our website. That's www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise. We have a lot of new designs that you can choose from, and also join our clubhouse. That's right, become a Patreon member and become a friend with benefits for as low as $2 a month. You can watch us record live, as well as many other really cool member exclusive benefits. My name is Scott. I am the host. With me, as always, I'm an architect for her pain, the queen of inspirational speaking, Mary. And our other co-host, he is our scumbag reselling hoarder himself, Chris.
If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true.
Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes.
Napoleon Dynamite.
I only got it because of your accent when you
Thank
said
you.
it.
It's pretty spot on.
It was.
I mute my microphone and I practice.
I think the best line of that whole movie is, do you drink 1% milk because you think you're fat?
You can be drinking 2% if you want.
You can drink full milk if you want.
And our producer, Alex.
Hey, how we doing?
So, guys, it happened to me again. More awkward encounters at work. So,
awkward encounters of the Scott kind.
Yeah, awkward encounters of the Scott kind. This is.
You weren't drunk at work, right?
No, I was not drunk at work.
Okay, that actually makes it worse, I think. I don't know.
So I'll tell you what happened. And it was so bad that one of the I kept going back to the server station and saying, okay, that's another one. And she was keeping track. It was like a total of 4 or 5. But I'm going to tell you the worst ones. So remember a couple episodes ago, I told you that there was a family in town that shared my last name, which is not a very common last name. And I went up to them, and instead of like just saying, hey, I have the same last name as you, I was like, this is going to be awkward. But here, I wanted to give you my business card. And then they had to stop and put on their glasses and all that. It was this whole thing. So anyway, I see on the reservations, there's another party that shares my last name. So I played it cool. I rehearsed everything in my head.
Oh, yeah.
And
I love it. And then it didn't go that way at all.
It did. Everything was fine. So I went to the table and I said, hey guys, I just happened to notice your last name on the reservation sheet. Here's my business card. And they could see it and all. They're like, oh my gosh, that's so cool and all that. Turns out they were like the grown kids of the other family that I met, several weeks ago.
Oh, wow. And they're probably like, oh, you met that guy?
Yeah. So they're
sharing stories.
We're talking for a while. And then like, I'm kind of walking away and the husband like goes to shake my hand and I just keep walking.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was kind of like he put his in and then put it back in because I just kept walking. And I don't know. That was the start of the rest of the day disasters, okay?
Yeah, you earned that karma.
Yeah,
You
I
left
did.
him hanging. Did he just like parachute it down? Like, oh man.
Yeah, well, yeah, and it was weird because I kept stumbling
Were
over
you
my
facing
words.
him when you were walking? Like, were you walking towards him in a way, or
So
just
they
you
were-
turned around and walked away?
They were sitting at a booth and I'm like talking to them. And then I was like, okay, guys, have a great night. And he goes to shake my hand and I was already in the motion of turning. And I kind of see out of the corner of my eye him bringing his hand up, but I was already committed to turning and walking away. So it's
Oh
like,
yeah, you would have fallen flat on your friggin' face if
Right.
you would have tried to, pivot.
exactly. So that was time number one. Okay. So awkward thing number two. So I go up to it. I'm doing a bunch of table touches. For those of you who have never spent any time in the restaurant industry, first of all, shame on you. You probably don't know how to treat people. Second of all, a table touch is
What's your excuse?
you push me to this, Mary. Second of all, it's when the manager's going around and asking you, how is everything, blah, blah, blah. So I go up to this table. I'm like, hey, folks, how was everything? And the gentleman was like, it was amazing. Look, I licked my plate clean. Things you don't say in a restaurant. Great. Now I don't have to wash the dish.
I don't know. I feel like I would laugh at that, or did they look mortified?
It was a little bit, they gave me like the sympathy laugh. They didn't really know what to,
Yeah, but
how
what
to
he
react
said was
to
also
that, Mary.
dumb too. So like, you're both dumb.
Yeah, but what he said
It's
is
true.
I mean, that's one of those things in the restaurant industry where, there are several different things that you are going to hear at least once a day. When you go up to a table and ask how it
Can I
was,
get you anything else? $1 million winning lottery ticket.
yeah, winning lotto ticket, or when you go and ask them how everything is, they're like, oh, it's terrible, but clearly it's not because they finished everything on their plate.
Yeah, right.
Or you get that one asshole where you're working at a restaurant that serves Pepsi products, and they're like, "Can I get a Diet Coke?" And they're like, "Is Diet Pepsi okay?" And then this asshole says, "Is Monopoly money okay?" It's just these things that you just hear every single day.
Yeah. Well, what else happened?
Okay, so that was encounter number 3. Encounter number 4, or no, I'm sorry, that was encounter 2.
Can't even
Encounter number
count,
3.
Man, I don't know about these.
It
It's
was
part
too.
of the
It
word
was too many to count.
encounter. You have to be able to count.
So awkward encounter number 3. So I go up to this table and he's wearing the same sweater that I'm wearing because it was one of those like really cold days that we just had.
No, Jesus Christ.
And everything was fine. I was like, oh, nice sweater. Because I don't, when you see someone wearing the same thing as you, you're always like,
No.
oh, nice,
You're
nice
not
shirt.
always. You continue about your.
I actually am
business.
guilty of that. No, I'm guilty of that.
You say, okay.
Like I say, I love your shirt.
Yeah, I love your shirt. Nice shirt. See, Chris, women are different. Women are different because they're mortified if someone is wearing even the
true.
same shade as them. They lose their effing minds.
No.
So
it's
I go
not
up.
accurate.
No, you don't lose your mind when you're wearing the same thing as someone else?
No, but I think.
Well, then why are you judging me? So when you see someone wearing the same outfit as you or the same shirt as you, what do you do?
It depends. Remember, I have social anxiety. And I've learned from my
Okay, so
own
what do you
encounters.
do? I want to know how you.
I realize what's happening and then I run away. I'm like Sasquatch. All you see is a blur go away real fast. That's what happens.
Okay. So I go up to him and I'm like, hey, nice sweater. And he's like, oh, thanks. I love this one. It's a really nice Tommy Bahama one and all that. So, we're having this nice conversation. So as I'm leaving, the wife says, you guys have the same taste. I think she says, "Have a great day." So I say, "Thanks, you too." So to her, she says, "Looks like you guys have nice taste." What she hears is, "Thanks, you too." Pew, pew.
Lisa, you did
man. And I
finger
walked
guns
off.
as you
Now-
walked
now-
away. Pew, 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 pew.
So now, to make
Those
things
are my
worse,
favorite.
I should have just kept going. I'm never going to see these
Oh,
people
God,
ever
did you
again
go
in my
back?
entire life. But no, I turned back and I said, "Oh yeah, we do." So let's recap what she heard in her mind. Okay, she says, "You guys have the same taste." I say, "Thanks, you too."
Oh, yeah,
Then-
we do.
Oh yeah, we do. Oh. So those were my awkward encounters of and I don't know what it is. I'm so comfortable with public speaking and speaking to people I know. Like I can have one-on-one conversations with people that I know, no problem. The second you get me in front of a stranger, it's like words, bread. I've been drinking around the world, Epcot.
That's exactly how you sounded when you talked to Belle. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know what Mary, I think I've been spending too much time with you. You're
not talking to displays at Target yet, so you have a long way to come.
Wow. Way off the top. This is way off topic, but Jen in chat is wondering if she wanted. She's wondering if she wanted a threesome. I think she's talking about Mary. I've been married to Remy for too long. I don't know what's happening.
No. Oh my gosh. You read that completely wrong, Scott. She was talking about the conversation you had with this woman, saying that you have good taste. Jen says, I'd be wondering if she wanted a threesome with that response. ... I've been married to Remy for too long.
Oh, okay.
Saying that's something Remy would think. Jen does not want a threesome with you and and Mary. Scott, I hate to break it to you.
How did I get brought
Jen,
into
I got
this?
your back. Totally understand that.
I don't know. Sorry. I don't know what happened. I don't know why.
And then
I saw
Remy
it that way.
immediately gets excited and goes, "Oh, threesome."
I thought maybe Remy hacked Jen's phone, to be honest with you. I thought that's what was happening.
Oh, Alex, can you edit this out?
No, just edit Chris saying he can't say
Yeah.
So anyway, that was my day. It was awful because it's like no matter where I turned, awkward encounter after awkward encounter, and I don't know when this started for me. But anyway, Mary, how was your week?
Let's see. I had a procedure on Friday, so that was nice. I got a real nice long nap.
Nice.
Cool. I was high as a kite for a hot minute.
You were put under?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of naps. They make me realize why Michael Jackson did that every night.
100%.
Mary,
Yes.
you're the way you're describing this, it's like it's a bad thing. You've been wanting to get some sleep and lose some weight forever, and you're accomplishing
I
both
know.
with minimal
I
effort.
am, man. Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, I don't know if I would say this is minimal effort. Kind of sucks a little bit, but you're right because my elbows are heavy right now.
Please explain to the listeners, because we talked about this off air, why your elbows are so heavy.
I don't know. It's just this medication that I have to take now, and it makes my elbows feel heavy, and I think it's something we just don't talk about enough.
Well,
Like
I think it's making you
have you ever
self-aware.
Have you ever
Of your
thought about
elbows.
how heavy your elbows are?
That's the thing. It's like it's opened up
Yeah.
your third eye. This medicine.
Yeah, man.
So it's not that it's making your elbows feel heavy. Now you just have the self-realization that elbows are indeed heavy joints. It unlocked that part of your brain.
Or maybe it's that I just lost a lot of weight and now my elbows really are heavy in
That could be
relation
it,
to
too.
the other part of my arms. I don't
Scott
think
cannot
so.
attest to that, so we're gonna have to get a third opinion.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I've been doing, like school stuff. Big news, my university wants me to speak and welcome the new cohort that is coming through.
Wait, what?
What's a
Because I'm an
cohort? It sounds offensive.
It does sound very
It should
offensive.
be.
Yeah.
Like when a new group of students start, it's called a cohort.
Oh, I thought you said something else. I was interested, but now I'm not.
Yeah. So now you're public speaking at the university. So you've gone from tutor to now you are the orientation liaison, welcoming in all the new freshmen. You're the university representative, if you will.
I mean, I would like to think so. Yeah, I'm the face, but also not the face. I really shouldn't be the voice either because, oof, look at this. No medicine that day. I can't have heavy elbows.
Now you got to hold the microphone.
I know. What am I going to do?
And plug the podcast.
Yeah. I hope you're ending every orientation session with, if you like this and you want more of me, No New Friends podcast streaming everywhere.
We want people to listen. I don't. My little like about me page on the university page does have the podcast plugged.
Oh well, good. That will
wear a QR code.
That will definitely help with our male listeners as they pick up your picture when they, need to go to Costco by themselves or something.
Wow, what? I mean, there are plenty of tissues and lotions around the university, so I don't know.
You go hand in hand then, so.
Hand in hand. Yeah, that's about it, I guess, for my day and my week. I don't know, I had 2 kids that were sick today. How that happens to me, I don't know. I had lab skills check off, so I was like already real stressed out and high strung, and then I had to go get Grayson, and then I had to go get Dexter, and then Zoe was like, I want to go on a date with my boyfriend.
To our listeners who had no idea what she just said, she said, Zoe just said, I want to go on a date
with my boyfriend.
Whispering doesn't work. I want to go on a date with my boyfriend.
You can hear
is what
it.
Zoe said.
You can hear it. Man, whatever. That's how she said it, though. And then I guess he ended up being busy, so she rage cleaned her room, which I love. I love a good little tuffle, teenage, relationship issues. Energizes her to clean her stuff. I love it.
Her room,
her bathroom. It's great. They need to get in more fights.
Oh my God.
What? I speaketh the truth.
So, Scott, thank you for asking how my week was.
Well, I was going to get to that.
It's a little too long for the first segment.
I was going to get to that in the second segment because this segment's
nice
over. So
nice save. Can't wait to tell you about it because it was interesting.
I can't wait to hear about it. All right, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We've got so much more to get to. Chris is going to tell us about his week. We also have another adulting question of the week, and this one's a good one. Kids, you're going to want to leave the room for this one. It's juicy. Jersey man, Florida man, Chris's Cliff Notes, and much more. You're listening to the No New Friends podcast. We'll be right back. Hey, everybody, looking for another way to listen to the No New Friends podcast? We are now featured on Glacier FM. That's GLACER FM.com. Just go to the music channels and go to Glacier Underground. That is Glacier, GLACER. And you can hear us Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Once again, that is GlacierFM.com.
Lizard people. The moon landing. Birds aren't real. Hi. This is Chris from the No New Friends podcast, and if you're hearing this message, you were selected to join the resistance. For as low as $1 a month, join our Patreon and help us uncover the truth. Upon joining us, you will be invited to our secret Discord, where we help spread these truths. You will be invited to watch our live recordings where the government cannot interfere. For more information, please send a messenger pigeon to my underground bunker or visit us at www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. This message will self-destruct in 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, nerds? This is Louis from the Nerd Archive podcast. Alongside my co-host Yadi, Lola, and Justin, we bring you everything about Star Wars, Harry Potter, Marvel, DC Comics, and video games, and more. New episodes every Friday at 8 a.m. on all podcast platforms. See you then, nerds. Now back to the program.
Hey guys, comedian James John, and you are listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. Don't forget, if you'd like to check out a really cool ghost tour, the See America Ghost Tour that's in St. Augustine, just go to, it's the Night Watchman Ghost Tour. See, okay, so Chris, you have me focused on that joke from last week where you're like, we don't talk enough about the See America Ghost Tours. And I've listened to that joke 18 times, and I don't get it because I didn't say it wrong.
No, I said there's another. I said something about there's another one that I'm interested in seeing. See America Ghost Horrors.
Oh, okay, I missed it. But anyway,
yeah.
See America Ghost Tours. It's God damn it, Night Watchman Ghost Tour. Just go to seeamericatours.net.
Get it together, God.
Jesus, seamericatours.net. Use the promo code NNF to get 25% off. Also, if you watch us on Twitch, and even if you don't watch us on Twitch, and there's not a lot of spots left. They're going fast. Go to HelloFresh.com and get a subscription or whatever, and use the promo code POGHF30995, and that's going to get you your first 21 meals for free, I think, is what it is.
Nope. But it's the equivalent of 21 meals free.
Something like that. Yeah. So
you get free food.
Check them out. Also, if you have any needs for Fiverr, you need them to write a paper for you or do some podcast editing or whatever, some graphic design, just go to our website and click on the Fiverr link and they'll help you out.
Well, first of all, we're talking about all these sponsorships. We have a very, very exciting one that we cannot wait to talk to you guys about. So stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled. I should say just keep your eyes open on our social media pages.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big national brand that we're super, super excited about.
Yeah, very excited about that.
All right, Chris, how was your week?
It was fine. So Friday, I'm sorry, Saturday, because this was a 3-day weekend because of Martin Luther King Day. Saturday, Emily wanted to take.
Hold on, I got to interrupt you real quick. So Mary has turned her camera off. Are you getting naked? Because that would be great on the visuals.
It's because I'm eating a popsicle, and I feel like that's just as bad.
Well, I wish I saw you starting to eat the popsicle, and I wish you would have been eating the popsicle when we were on Twitch. That would have made our viewership go up tremendously.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep. I definitely.
We see where your commitment lays, and it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. Continue.
These elbows.
Continue, Chris.
Should I eat a popsicle, Scott? I'll do it on camera.
You should.
I'll do it. No, Scott will get very mad at me for audio quality. So anyway, Saturday, Emily wanted to take me on a date, something that Remy's wife has never actually heard. Remy from Remy's Roundtable,
right?
So she wanted to take me to Topgolf, which is that's an expensive date. You do the math; that's $1 a minute.
Yeah,
that's $1 a minute.
Yeah,
right. So spoiler:
I've spent less on the OBT per minute. OBT is a street here in Orlando that has a lot of hookers on it.
That makes sense. So anyway, we did not go on Saturday because we woke up and we had company Friday night, actually. Yeah, mice.
Oh,
they had a good old party in our pantry. Ate all of our pretzels. Good pretzels too. They listen. We don't get cheap pretzels around here. We get those nice, like dark, super roasted sourdough. They cost like $6. They a little less than eggs.
Look, inflation, man.
Yeah, just they're.
What'd you do? How'd you get them? Catch them?
Well, listen. So we spent all day cleaning on Saturday. How to get rid of these mice? Now, I don't like to kill things. Just can't do it. A lot of people make fun of me for this when I fish because I always just catch and release. I could catch the biggest, juiciest fish. I got to throw that thing back. I just can't kill that thing. It's got a family to. He works hard for his family, like I work hard. Well, like I exist hard for my family, and I just can't kill things. I see a spider in the house. I put in a little cup and I throw it outside, probably to its imminent death. But
bird swoops by and
yeah. I mean, is it gonna die? not by my hands.
I don't know. I gotta interrupt you real quick. You said, you work hard for your money, well, kind of, or whatever. So
I said I exist hard for my money.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I was
Yes.
going to correct you on the work thing. In fact, I need to bring something up with you real quick.
Yes.
And so put a pause on the saving spiders'
Yes,
lives,
pause.
one spider at a time.
Yeah.
So, Mary, I have to.
You don't care about my week, Scott. This is what this comes down to. Is Scott just does not care about my week.
do. Okay. But I think our listeners and I think Mary would appreciate this. So, Mary, we're working on this celebrity interview, okay, and I'm not saying who it is yet. We'll after we lock everything down, we'll talk about this. So he's out on the West Coast. He's an older guy, and he's like, he's got to do it during the day. So I reach out to both of you, and I'm like, hey, could we maybe nail something down for one, either Thursday or Friday during the day? Mary's like, probably not a problem. Got you. Chris is like, I can't.
Pause right there.
Go ahead.
No, pause right there. Who responded first?
I know you did. It was very impressive.
I've been very active.
You've been very
active responding.
I'm proud of you. You've been very active. Chris responds, I don't know. I may have to work. I can't commit to that. I call bullshit, sir. Bullshit. You don't work. You are fully available. You just have a release of Pokemon cards that day or something.
Listen, it's the fear of potentially having to work, Scott. That's what it is. It's the fear. Yes, because I don't know how I'm going to do it. It's the preparation that goes into getting myself ready. It's the preparation. Like, what if I have to sharpen some pencils that day, Scott?
You never know.
That's tougher than you'd think it would be. But anyway,
Mary was going to say a joke and she cut herself off.
Oh yeah, she was.
Well, it wasn't
Please.
a joke. I was just going to say you probably actually should have called bullshit of me saying I would be available, because we all know like 10 minutes before I'll be like, I'm so sorry, I'm too busy, or I fell asleep. So there's that.
So for all the listeners at home who do care about my week, because Scott doesn't, I'll continue with my story. So we cleaned the whole apartment on Saturday, which was nice because it needed to be done for like the past, I don't know, 2-3 years. I don't know. So everything was done Saturday. The coat rack in the closet that was torn off the wall because I have too many jackets in there because I just can't give things away. That was fixed.
Wait, so did it just fall down because it got too heavy and you left it?
Oh yeah, and you just dig through for the jacket. And so how do you fix something like that? You repair it and you give jackets away. No, you just repair it. And let it fall down again, because you can't give stuff away. That stuff has sentimental value. So we cleaned all day Saturday. We were tired at night, man. Like, listen, we've been married for over a year. We've been together for over 10 years. It's like, we don't need to go out and do things. Like, we just stay in. Maybe have a glass of wine, maybe build a Lego set. Like, that's a riveting night for us.
I agree. That sounds great. That sounds wonderful to me.
So we had a long day cleaning, and we're like, you know what? Let's just stay in tonight. We'll go on our date night tomorrow, because Martin Luther King Day was on Monday, and so no one had to be up early. So fast forward Saturday. First of all, mice problem fixed. We patched all the holes. No, we patched all the holes. Oh, that's what I was getting. I can't kill things, so I got all these like catch and release traps, which I was terrified to check. So like, it were these traps that they'd go in, and there was like this little like seesaw thing that it just couldn't get back out, and then you have to go and release it. I was afraid to check them, so I probably would have killed them by not checking them anyway. And just they would have turned into kill traps, but like really bad kill traps.
Yeah, like they just suffered slowly.
Yeah, it just kills them slowly. But I put a lot of peanut butter in there, put a little glass of water in there for them so they could stay alive for a little bit. So
you put a little mint on their pillow and a bottle of water on their nightstand. Jesus.
I put my business card in there just in case they need anything. So we patched up all the holes. So they're probably going to die inside the walls, because the holes in the walls were probably their only exit from the wall. So now they either eat plaster or die. I think you probably would die from eating plaster. So
no, man, Jersey rats. Nah, yeah, those rats will be fine.
But listen, they won't die by my hand, Scott.
Wait, are they mice or rats? There's a difference.
No, they're mice. We don't have rats here. We do not have rats.
Yeah, the rats just stay in New York.
They're in Philly.
Why didn't you just keep them as pets?
Emily actually owned rats as pets, and never again.
Mary just suggested you have the mice as pets, and then when you said Emily actually had some, she was shocked and appalled by it. Same thing.
I said rats.
Same thing.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that's
One's
for
their
a
another,
bigger
tails are
that's for
version
another
of
far
the other
episode.
different.
one.
Yeah, that's
Tails
for
are
another episode.
far
though.
different.
Not a fan of those. So anyway, that was Saturday. Sunday comes along and we go to Topgolf. I have a lot of opinions about Topgolf. Have you guys ever been to Topgolf?
Yes.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
when
Did
Scott
you
was
not
very
hear the
drunk.
whole bachelor party
Perfect.
episode? That's where things got
Yes.
started, and where a lot of us, our memory ends, is at Topgolf.
Yeah, so Topgolf is like, oh man. So when electric cars first came out, people were buying them, but then they just couldn't charge them because there wasn't places to charge them. Like you couldn't leave your house. You couldn't go on a road trip because like there wasn't enough charging stations, right? It was just like a product that was pushed out way before its time. That's what Topgolf is. Topgolf does not work. It doesn't work. It is not accurate.
What do you mean it's not
Oh,
accurate?
are you suggesting that someone should chip golf balls?
Those
and
golf
it would
balls
work
are
better?
chipped. Those golf balls are chipped, Mary.
So Emily just came over with a phone and with her notes app up in all bold saying, "You better not lie about your losses." I lost every game.
Oh,
that night.
now I get it.
Every single
So
game,
Emily
except for one.
beats you, and now you're claiming that the chips and the balls don't work.
Listen. First of all, they're not chipped. It's all like simulated. It's all simulated, and it's simulated. You could tell it's simulated because guess what? You get a ball into the zone. It like you have a chance that it works. If you shank a ball, 100% pinpoint accuracy, 100%. Like it shows you where on the wall you hit it, the velocity that it hits the wall. But if I get it into the one of the spots to get points, oh no! It says that it went over it. It says that it shows me on the little map when you hit the ball that it goes into the target. It shows me it gives me 0 points.
It's because it bounced in. You have to hit it into the target.
No,
on a straight shot.
No, it went in, man. It went in, and I got 0 points for it. Listen, I'm playing Angry Birds. We did Angry Birds. There's an Angry Birds mode. I hit it straight as an arrow. I'm like, wow, man, I've never hit a ball this straight before. I look on the map, boom, right off to the right. Like, oh, this should not be like this. I don't know. Is it because it's a New Jersey knockoff Topgolf?
Maybe it is. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like middle golf.
Yeah, it's middle golf.
Middle golf.
Not my only problem with Topgolf. The other problem is eating.
Okay.
Listen. Have you guys ever went bowling before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you eat while you bowl?
Somewhat.
That's disgusting. You're
Well,
touching all these people's balls without. Listen, essentially, like you're touching their bowling balls, but you don't know where their hands have been before that.
Speaking of balls.
So yes, Scott, speaking of balls, support for the No New Friends podcast is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Their products are precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped's Performance Package, the ultimate men's hygiene bundle. Join over 7 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. Guess what that offer is, Scott? 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code NNF. That's like No New Friends Podcast, NNF, at manscaped.com. And if my math is correct, it's about 14 million balls that are getting, that are trusting Manscaped, Scott. That's a lot of balls.
That is a lot of balls. A lot of balls.
And listen, Scott, I know you really don't have much to maintain down there because you don't really use it much. But listen, you have a bald head. You trim your head and you trim your beard. You've definitely gotten nicked in the past.
I have.
Yeah, well,
and I've nicked my balls.
Well, that was probably years ago when was electricity even a thing? I don't know. But this one you couldn't even nick your balls with, Scott, because it's that good. It is that protective. It has different settings. It is waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer helps reduce those nicks, Scott, on your balls or on your chin balls that you have there.
I hate nicking my balls. It's just such a, you gotta kind of spread out the skin and make it flat and all that. So this doesn't do that. It's got that protective. It's so much protection. There's so much protection.
Well, listen, it reduces the risk of ingrown hairs, reduces the risk of grooming accidents. Again, you're not going to really be trimming a lot down there, but a lot of our listeners might be. So this deal isn't necessarily for you for your area, but it could be for your face. I mean, you could really use this for your face, Scott. I mean, I think looking at you need a little trim. So I really think you could benefit from this. 20% off, free shipping with the code NNF at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping with NNF. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. So when you're like, listen, it's disgusting. You don't know what you're touching with these bowling balls. Same thing with Topgolf. You're touching all these shafts of the you're touching all these people's shafts. They're not your shaft. Like, I'd feel weird bringing my own shaft to Topgolf and whipping out my shaft in front of everybody else. Like, that's just dehumanized. Like, that's humiliating.
Yeah, because it's not mini golf.
I bring my own shafts. I bring my own shaft to Topgolf.
Oh no.
Yeah,
no, it's never bring.
They're in my
shaft.
huge sack on my back that I carry up. I usually hit people in the chin with it, with the shaft and the sack.
Naturally. And then you have the little cover on it when you unsheath your shaft. I just feel like that's just a hardo move. Like, you can't listen. You pull out this big, like, because listen, all the equipment that they give you is, you know, standard size. You pull out your shaft, that's like you unsheath that thing. That thing's meaty and hardy and just girthy. And I just feel like that would be weird for someone to look over in the next stall and take a look at your shaft and realize that it's not a house supplied shaft. And that
I've never had an issue handling any shaft, honestly, whether it was borrowed or.
And I'm intimidated by using my own shaft. I like using others because in the environment that I was in, Mary. Because listen, when you're in an environment such as a house, like a facility,
like shafts for everybody, shafts for everybody. Yes,
I think bring your own. Yes, everybody gets shafted. I think that it's a psychopath move to use your own. I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're definitely not reading the room there. Yeah,
and then okay,
communal shafting.
Yeah. So so you bring your sack with all your shafts in it, right? You got that little towel to clean off the residue off your shaft. Like, that just looks weird. So listen. Everyone's using house supplied shafts, and then they look over at you. You're polishing yours with your little rag, getting all that like goop or whatever you get on the end of the shaft on. And listen, there's no goop there. It's a very clean facility. You're not gooping your shaft at Topgolf. So I look over people who's polishing theirs. I'm like, this guy's just doing this just to show off.
Sometimes people just do it for fun.
Well, fun, yeah. But like, this guy was really going at it. The guy in the stall next to me, he's really, really polishing his shaft. And I'm looking like, yeah, I get it. Your shaft is big. Like, that's a nice looking shaft.
He probably wanted you to tell him.
Well, maybe. I did reach. I looked over. I said, "That's an impressive one," but I mean, like, the ones here are adequate enough. And Emily agreed with me. Like, the one that I was
using, adequate.
It wasn't the biggest, but it was sturdy, and
it's what she's used to.
It did a good job at. Yeah, it did a decent job at it.
It did its job.
So anyway, enough about the shafts. We were on the second floor, which made my palms sweat. So when I'm gripping the
which
shaft,
is better than using lotion.
Palms, and I'm nervous that this thing's. Because listen, there's a method to my madness. So I had to, if you don't have sweaty palms to begin with, you need that grip. So you just gotta just spit on it a little bit. And when you get a nice firm grip of that's not going anywhere after you put a little spit on it. But again, that's why it's so gross, because I'm touching these other people's shafts with my spit. And
so it's an indirect spatting.
Scott.
There's way too much spitting going on.
Right.
Way too much.
So anyway, I wave my shaft at the little hole and the ball flies out. And I don't know. It's just, these things just not, the most accurate thing is when you wave your shaft in front of that thing and then just pop the golf ball pops out. Just to surprise every time, because you don't think it's going to work, but you wave that thing good enough. It really comes out. Actually, it's funny because the person next to me was waving their shaft so hard, it came at me like really, really fast and unexpected. Their golf ball.
Maybe you were getting points because you were
close your eyes.
You were getting into the wrong hole.
That could be why, because I would get minus points for some, and I would get some looks. I got some strange looks from the guy with using his big old shaft next to me. I got some weird looks when I was hitting it in his hole. Because everyone has their own hole that they're supposed to be hitting in, because you're directed a certain way, and Everyone has their allegiances, and so he's playing his own game. I'm playing my game. Listen, I'm a switch hitter. I go both ways.
Maybe
So
you're on the same team.
I'm grabbing all these other people's shafts because they got the lefties.
And if you're using a lefty, it feels like a different one.
I'm going both ways. Yeah, it's
like a stranger's shaft. Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. It was a stranger's shaft that I was using. So I mean, it's just it's frustrating. When you have your own, well, I didn't have my own shaft. When you're using somebody else's shaft and you can't perform the way that you should be able to, it's embarrassing. It's humiliating. And hey, that was Topgolf. Well, actually, that was before we did Topgolf. When we got to Topgolf, we had a very similar story. The whole weekend just meshed really together. Anyway,
Scott's having a seizure. Way to go! He's dying.
Speaking about food, that's how this conversation started. You ordered the crabs.
When we come back, Adulting Question of the Week, you're listening to the No New Friends podcast. Hey there, Scott here. You all know I like to spend time wandering the neighborhood on my big wheels or hanging out at the park with my fedora and my Bud Light. So I don't have time to clean my own house. That's why I've been using I Believe services for the past 6-7 years, and they're the best in commercial and residential cleaning. They're also doing carpet shampooing at such a reasonable price. Just check them out. That's ibelieveservices.us. Give them a call, 407-928-4595, and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
There are 3 things that I hate in life: taxes, nausea, and booking vacations. The first 2 I'm stuck with, but for the third, I use Sandpiper Vacations. Sandpiper Vacations is a small business that is LGBTQ+ owned and operated with travel advisors all over the country. Whether it's a cruise, a trip to a theme park, or an all-inclusive resort, Sandpiper has you covered. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it's free. Why book a vacation when you can have someone else do it for you? That's like choosing to take the stairs in a building that has an elevator. Leave the headaches of booking a vacation to someone else. Get your quote today at www.sandpipervacations.com and tell them that the No New Friends podcast sent you.
Picture it, St. Augustine, Florida, 2022. You're on the Night Watchman Ghost Tour with all of your ghoul friends. The air grows colder, you turn the corner, and there she is, Ghost Mary. Okay, you probably won't run into Ghost Mary. You may see a ghost named Mary. I'm not really 100% sure, but the tour guides for the Night Watchman Ghost Tour from See America Tours do know it is the only 4D ghost tour in St. Augustine. So if you have ever wondered what a ghost smells like, well, now is your chance. And right now they have a scary good deal going on. Enter the promo code NNF as in No New Friends and receive 25% off your Night Watchman Ghost Tour. So visit them at seeamericatours.net. That is SEE americatours.net. Okay, bye.
Hey, this is Craig Brooks with Tasty Trivia, and you're listening to the No New Friends podcast.
Welcome back to the No New Friends podcast with Scott, Mary, and Chris. As I tried to say in the last segment, if you'd like to do a really cool ghost tour in St. Augustine, check out the Night Watchman Ghost Tours. Just go to seeamericatours.net and use the promo code NNF and you're going to get 25% off. All right, so I've got this week's adulting question of the week. Now, kids, if you're listening, you shouldn't be, and you're going to be traumatized by that last segment, but definitely don't listen to this. Listen, this is a mature content coming up right now. It's not super detailed and super graphic, but there's definitely some adult ideas here. All right, you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, this is from the group Adulting 101 We can do it. What would you do? My fiance, 31-year-old male, and me, 26-year-old female, have sex about once every 3 weeks. So my response to that is congratulations. Way to go, guys. You're doing great. Very healthy. What's the problem? Mostly because of things resulting from that and my work schedule. He is always accusing me of cheating or sleeping with someone else, even though I am not. Well, tonight, we finally got the chance to have our moment. He goes down on me. I finish, and it's time to switch. When he gets up to switch, he goes, "You must be getting it from someone else." I'm shocked, speechless, and say, What are you talking about? Why would you say something like that? To which he replies, "It's more moist than usual, and you smell a little suspicious." And then starts accusing me of sleeping with someone else, and who knows what I've been doing at work. All while on top of this man. I literally burst into tears because I've had such a horrid day, and that was just the icing on the cake. I roll over because I'm no longer in the mood, and he storms off and does whatever he says. I just used him. IDK. Maybe I'm just venting, but now I don't even want to ever have sex with him again because he does a lot of things, but this right here really hurt me. Okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. So my thing is, bro, wait until you get yours to say anything. Jesus Christ, are you an effing moron? Like, he just goes, downtown, and then before he gets his, he says, "Yeah, you're definitely cheating on me because you smell suspicious." Which, look, that's a D-bag move anyway. Like, deal with that later. Thoughts?
Go ahead, Mary.
My first thought is, how does he know what another man would smell like? Like, I have some questions.
He's been to Topgolf as well.
He also has frequents. I actually had to stop listening after you used the M word, so I kind of just zoned out after that. It was very unpleasant.
What word?
M word.
Moist.
Nah.
Oh gosh, I thought that you said something else.
Terrible.
I totally missed that one.
Terrible. What I think is that maybe he's like projecting a little bit. Maybe he's cheating on her.
Oh, clearly he's cheating on her. Clearly. And he's got to try to discredit her.
Yeah, maybe he couldn't even get it up, and that's why he was like, "Oh," and just like ended the encounter.
That I didn't even think about that. He couldn't get it up. So then he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm going to insult her.
So I'm going to blame it on her. It's all your fault."
Yeah.
And then in the morning, he'll be like, "Baby, come back."
So clearly he's a narcissist.
100%.
That would, Mary, I think you're brilliant. I think you're onto something, because that's the only thing that would make sense. Because again, you're not going to do anything to ruin getting yours. Like, she got hers. Get yours before you say anything stupid that's going to ruin it for yourself. So yeah, that's
Seems accurate.
I think you're onto something. But back to the cheating. I mean, like, okay, how does he know what Tony's dick smells like, unless he's cheating with Tony as well, and he knows? He's like, "Oh, this is familiar."
What's he doing smelling down there? So listen, I don't know. I just think that's a psychopath move to just be like, I'm smelling you down. Like he's going down there. Like, is she hearing the?
Like, he's down there on it.
Like, is he really getting a good whiff of that?
Mission. Like, there's 2 missions.
You go down. Listen, you're having intercourse once every 3 weeks. You're telling me once every 3 weeks you're going downtown? No. So this is something that's once in a blue moon. So he doesn't know what that smells like anymore. He's lost sense with reality about this. He doesn't. So what he was doing was he thought that she was cheating. So he came up with this weird accusation of, "Yeah, you smell like Tony down here," and it backfired because he's obviously just insecure with himself. And you know what? Let's get him on the podcast. We can tell him about himself. He's insecure about himself. He's blaming it on his wife. Listen, Scott, you're the expert on not having sex. What do you think? Is he insecure? Is she just tired? How old are these people?
They're young.
He's 31, she's 26.
Oh man.
Chris, it makes zero sense to me unless he couldn't get it up. I think because when in the whole spider thing where it's like, no, I can't move her to another room because in the time that it takes to move the activity into another room, I may have lost her mood. So it's like we deal with the spider, or I lie about killing the spider, and we just, in the bed, and we don't move the dog because we're already there, and I don't want to I can't stop the process because who knows what's going to happen. She could fall asleep. She could change her mind. She could all of a sudden have a headache. So I'm not going to do anything to ruin my chances of finishing the God's plan. So
okay,
yeah,
Drake, what are you happening right
so
now?
there is no scenario whatsoever. Look, if I think she's cheating, I'm addressing this after I get off, not in the middle of the process. That's just dumb. Unless, like Mary said, he couldn't get it up and he orchestrated this excuse.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking happened. And he's like, deflect. All your fault. Yeah. So in which case he sounds like a real gem. Should hold on to him.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of red flags there. Run. And listen, most of my answers on these groups would be just walk away. It's time to leave. But whatever, it's neither here nor there.
Do you chirp in like on the sites? Do you give him advice?
Not on stuff like that, but I do chirp in on stuff sometimes. Absolutely.
Because you think that you have the credentials to give anyone adulting advice?
See, here's the thing. This is the brilliance of marketing that I do. I'm on these sites and then I give a witty response to which people banter back and forth with me. And then I'm hoping that they Facebook stalk me and see, oh, I'm the host of the No New Friends podcast, an adulting podcast, which this is an adulting Facebook group. And that's how you build an audience, through engagement on social media.
This guy's advice sucks. I'm never going to listen to this podcast.
There's always that.
Yeah.
Listen, something that I'm doing is working. Okay. All right. You guys ready to play Jersey Man, Florida Man?
Yes.
Every week, Ryan brings us two news stories. One is from Florida, one is from New Jersey. It is up to us to guess where it's from. So take it away, Ryan.
Hey guys, this is Ryan coming to you from the No New Friends newsroom located this week on the Walt Disney World monorail. It has come to my attention that Scott might be inadvertently offending people, so I figured I'd spend the day observing Scott's interactions with people and maybe give him some pointers on what isn't accepted to say and do these days in today's world. While I was coming out here, I saw Mary at the Ticket and Transportation Center. She was taking candid pictures of children for her new Instagram page called Minors with Mullets. Not sure how long Disney allowed her to do that on property. I also found Alex's wallet 3 times on the way out here. Somebody get that guy a chain. Anyways, here's what I gathered while watching Scott throughout the day. For beginners, Scott, you showed up wearing a Rebel Flag t-shirt. Now, that's not accepted in most places anymore, unless you live here in North Carolina, where we are legally obligated to have it tattooed on our pasty upper arms. And also, while you were talking to that nice Japanese family over there, you referred to them as Oriental. Oriental is a word we use to describe a type of rug, not a type of person, so maybe you shouldn't say that anymore. Also, don't ask them math questions. Just because they're Asian doesn't mean that they're good at math. And when you were talking to that guy from England, you told him he had nice teeth for a guy from England. Yeah, he wasn't very happy about that. Also, not sure why you asked that nice Hispanic guy how much he thought it would cost to paint your house. I noticed when you were talking to that Chinese couple, you told them that you liked their little cookies with the fortunes inside. Not even sure that's even really a Chinese thing. All joking aside, I'm sure Scott really isn't a racist. He's told me multiple times that he doesn't see color. And I believe him, especially in his neighborhood he doesn't. The funny thing is Scott doesn't see color, and a lot of his lovers can't see color either. Anyways, let's get into this week's Florida Man versus Jersey Man. And in our first story, a man in a pink bunny suit exposes himself to trick-or-treaters. And in our second story, a woman has been accused of driving a motorized shopping cart through a Target while drinking wine from the bottle and eating sushi and cinnamon rolls.
All right, we've got the bunny or we've got wine drinking Target lady.
My throat hurts from laughing.
I'm gonna say wine drinking Target lady is Florida because, man, sometimes I don't remember a long night out. And the bunny is Jersey.
Chris, what do you think?
think the bunny is Florida because I don't want to be associated with somebody exposing themselves to trick or treaters. The bunny could have been his initials could have been SM. The other one would be New Jersey. The wine. I'm so distracted by all the jokes that Ryan just said because Ryan said he struggled this week. Please struggle more because this was amazing.
Right.
This was probably the best one.
We say that every week, but every week is the best one. I'm gonna agree with Mary. I think Target Wine Lady is Florida, and the exposing bunny is New Jersey. Let's find out the answer.
So our first story is from New Jersey, where a Warren County man is accused of exposing himself to trick-or-treaters while wearing a pink bunny costume. While asked about these allegations, he had this to say.
Hey guys, I got a big old wiener just looking at it.
Not sure if that's any kind of excuse, but that's what he had to say. So that means our second story is from Florida, where according to Citrus County Sheriff, a 25-year-old woman was arrested for consuming $32 of wine and sushi rolls while riding an electric shopping cart around in Target. This woman is almost as good at multitasking as everyone's favorite bilingual Christmas gift shopping, job scouting, mental health counseling, trip booking psychopath travel agent Nick from Sandpiper Vacation, who is also the one that sent me this story. And in other news, I found a story of a pigeon being used to sneak drugs into a prison using a miniature backpack filled with crystal meth. The original idea was to use Chris as the drug mule, as he is small enough to throw over the fence and he'll fit into all the little air ducts. But his backpack is just filled with Pepto-Bismol and anti-anxiety drugs, which the prisoners didn't have much use for. Anyways, that's it for me this week, guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you so much, Ryan. And if you'd like to email him a news story, it's, oh my God. What is it? No New Friends, Ryan@gmail.com.
That was a masterpiece.
That was really good. And the Remy voiceover, for those of you who don't know, was taken from an episode of Remy's Roundtable where they're talking about the Wienermobile.
Yes, taken totally out of context, which makes it very funny.
I know. Yeah.
Oh my God.
No New Friends, Ryan@gmail.com. You can email him news stories. He loves that kind of stuff.
What was he actually saying in the voiceover? What?
The Remy thing? So Remy was talking about how he wishes he could drive the Wienermobile, and he's talking about the Wienermobile, but I cut out all the Wienermobile part, so it just sounds like he's talking about a wiener. I got a big old wiener just looking at it.
Just looking at it.
Oh man!
Wow.
Well done, Ryan.
Oh man, that was good. We all just need a break.
I know.
I'm sweating profusely.
A cigarette and a change of underwear.
Yeah.
While you guys have some time to recover, I felt like this is a great time to slip in my ideas and my segment here. And from segment 2, Chris told a hilarious story about not bringing his own shaft. And it reminded me of my high school days when I used to bring my own ball to go bowling. When I was in high school, I started a bowling team. Humble brag, I was a 3-letter athlete in high school. So I started a bowling team, and I was able to talk the hottest teacher being the bowling coach. But I had more experience with bowling balls, so I ended up being the coach, really. And then she had to drive me to the bowling alley every few days. Great little racket I had going on there. But, I always made sure to bring my ball because I don't want to use someone else's ball. My ball is the weight is perfect for my hands. I also had a wrist guard because you don't want to hurt your wrist when you're handling your ball, especially when they're as heavy as mine. Because I had a heavy ball, and I would teach other kids how to bowl with the ball at the place. They didn't use someone else's ball, which isn't amazing because you got to make sure it's perfect for your form and your arms are built for that ball's weight. And if you use your own ball, your arms are used to it. But if you use the place's ball, then you're not going to be used to it and you're going to be off balance. But it was fun. It was fun teaching high school kids how to, throw balls that they're not used to throwing and learning how to, spin your hand the right way to really work it so that it's spun correctly and it would slide down there. And knock everything over. And I was just happy I was able to talk the hot teacher into driving me out with my ball because, I thought she'd be impressed with how I handled my ball. And I guess it wasn't enough. Anyways, back to you, Scott.
Chris, do you have any cliff notes this evening?
I'll tell you what, I'm glad that Jersey Man versus Florida Man delivery. I don't have a lot of cliff notes tonight. I don't. I felt like I was talking a lot today. It's very hard to type and talk, but I do have a few, and they're good ones. So,
of course you do.
In segment 1, Scott told us how he conducted a bunch of table touches. Wasn't a surprise to me, considering he has a pattern of touching things without consent.
Like shafts.
So Scott brought up his adulting question of the week about a sexual encounter between two individuals. There was a lot of junk to unpack here, which is something Scott is not used to doing. And then lastly, back in the 90s, Michael Jordan played a game with the flu, which was famously donned the flu game. Tonight, unfortunately, was my flu game, and I was unable to write a lot of cliff notes. And there's lots of other people experiencing flu games on their own. Like Mary just played her flu game as she bravely raised a water bottle to her mouth, battling through the heaviness of her elbows. And Scott plays his flu game every time he urinates, trying to have a one steady stream. Those are my notes.
Oh, okay.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. Right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark,
Hey, it's Alex from Diz His. You know me, you know Joe, you definitely know Chris, and you know Jen. Well, we're the hosts of Diz His, the Disney History Podcast. Every week we take one Disney subject and go over the history, as well as our insight on the subject. We talk about other Disney topics, as well as what's new in the news. You can find us on all podcast platforms, or go to our website, dizhiz.com. That's DIZHIZ.com. And we're on all social media at DizHiz65.
Chris, what do you got coming up on Diz His?
You ever feel lonely, Scott?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes. I answered for you because I feel the same way. Sometimes I'm in a funk. I turn to drinking. I turn to really like just things that aren't healthy for you. This was until I met Nick from Sandpiper Vacations. I'm not lonely anymore, Scott, because whenever I feel lonely, I just start planning. I just start coming up with vacations, and I vacation now. But I have a confession, Scott. I'm not very good at planning my own vacations, and that was something that actually drove me to drink, drove me away from my family. My family thinks I'm an embarrassment. My wife doesn't talk to me. It's all because I'm not good at planning vacations, and I'm very lonely because of it. And I'll tell you, Nick from Sandpiper Vacations turned that all around because now I can come to my wife with an itinerary, with plane tickets, with vacations planned out that she thinks I did, but I didn't. I sent over the location and the dates to Nick from Sandpiper Vacations, and he did it all for me. Of course, I took credit for it. Because listen, nobody knows that Nick from Sandpiper's doing this for you, except for you and your wallet, because he gets these vacations planned for you and saves you a bunch of money in doing so. So if you're lonely, and if you are just in a funk because you can't plan vacations either, and your whole family thinks you're an embarrassment, and no one will talk to you at Thanksgiving, and everybody just shunned you from the family, you're the black sheep of the family, nobody takes you serious anymore.
Whoa,
reach out to Nick from Sandpiper. He will plan your vacation for you and redeem your name. Go to sandpipervacations.com. Get a free quote today and tell him the No New Friends podcast sent you. That went in a totally different direction than I thought it would.
That was oddly specific.
Well, it's just in theory.
Like maybe
if I try to reach everybody when I do these plugs, and I just want to make sure that everybody is taken care of. So if you're in that boat, you can reach out to him. He'll help you out.
So Diz His, what's coming up?
Oh, Diz His, right. So this week we did what we are calling a rehiz,
and I love that.
So
idea,
the very
by
first.
The way.
Yeah, my idea. Very first episode of the Diz His podcast was the Haunted Mansion. And we're like, I don't know, 4,000 episodes in. Running out of ideas, Scott.
Right.
And in the very beginning, there was bad audio quality, different hosts. And maybe more history came out in the past couple of years. Who knows? Maybe somebody dug up something, an archaeologist dug up something that they found out, and there's new information on the Haunted Mansion. So we did a rehiz on the first ever episode, which is the Haunted Mansion. We actually had a special guest on, Maddie, who is pretty well known on TikTok because of her murals that she paints. So since she was on, she actually gave away to our Patreons a Haunted Mansion painting. We had a duck race to see who won that. So that was really fun episode. So if you want to get to the rehiz on the hiz of the Haunted Mansion, tune in this week. It's a fun episode.
Are you guys gonna be doing the rehiz on the Iron Man experience?
About 45 years from now, when it's when there's a little bit more, maybe we'll get to that.
So this is what this would be a fun one for you guys to do: the history or the hiz of Benny the trash can.
Ah, yeah, that is a good idea.
Do you know who Benny the trash can is?
No, I was actually thinking of Push the Trash Can.
Push the Trash Can was a really cool interactive thing. Benny the trash can, and you'll have to look it up. But if you join the group Disney Day Drinkers Club on Facebook, it started with just a family who needed a meeting place when they were meeting at Epcot, and so they named the trash can outside of the Rose and Crown Benny. And
oh, that's cool.
And now this group is up to like 40,000 members. It's the Disney Day Drinkers Club.
Wow. And that was the hiz on Benny the Trash Can. Thank you, Scott. If you want to find Maddie on TikTok, the special guest that does the painting, it is Magic by Maddie on TikTok. She's you guys should look her up if you guys haven't seen her videos already. She's a really cool artist, really good artist. She's painting a Disney mural in her house, and that's why she went viral on TikTok. We should probably take some notes so we can go viral on TikTok.
Right? If you'd like to connect with DizHiz, check out their website, dizhiz.com. You can reach out to them on all social media. That's DizHiz65 on all social media. And also check out the interview that Chris and I did on Big Beautiful Diz sister station, Dane Interviews. Also check out Big Beautiful Diz, the Disney History YouTube channel. It's a really cool one put on by Dean. Remy's Roundtable, the theme park podcast. Studio 21, the baseball podcast. Nerd Archive podcast. They discuss all those geeky things that you liked in high school that you got beat up for. Don't Wreck Yourself pod, where Ryan deep dives into a story that wrecks the internet. It's a great show.
You know, if you're lonely like Chris, you can listen to A Mental Health Moment with Dr. Edward Samaro.
So Mental Health Moment, check that out as well. And they're real short episodes, so definitely check that out. If you'd like to connect with us, all of our social media links, www.nonewfriendspodcast.com. While you're there, check out our really sweet merchandise and join our clubhouse so you can watch us record these things live. They're a lot of fun. A lot of things get cut out, and there's a bunch of other exclusive bonus material. On behalf of Mary, Chris, Alex, Game Master Ryan, I'm Scott. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.